There you go.
Hey, y'all. Travis, Silver, Sam, and Bonnie. Conquer your future. Welcome, welcome. We'll be live here in 1 minute. I'm hoping Maria retired shows up today because she's got a wealth of knowledge too. She's a retired teacher, if I remember correctly. All right, I suppose we have to.
Ready?
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right. Here we go.
Best part of your day, seeing our ugly mugs.
Best part of waking up.
All right, guys. Hey, safe travels, man. We love you. We're doing good. We're doing good. All right, so this is the promised homeschooling one. I have put several links in the description, and of course, try to do it frugally, right? So, one moment. So, if you're going to homeschool and you're new to it and you don't know anything about it, the site I have showing right there, the HSLDA, is going to be your very first stop. And what we're going to do, let me figure this out, guys. How do I, off the right?
Yeah, off to the right on that one.
Okay. You're gonna come to this site, and then you're going to scroll down, and you're gonna pick homeschool laws by state. And the very first thing that you want to do as a homeschooler, hey Liz, is to get the state laws for the state that you live in. All right. And that's the first thing you're going to want to do. You're going to want to print those out and have them on hand. And that way, and know them. Those are important because that way they can't mess with you. So, yep. And there's for special needs schooling, and there's all kinds of things here. Where did I have the map at? I should have left that.
Map?
Yeah. Hold on. Legal. Now they do have a membership where you can sign up with them, and what it does is it gives you a lawyer on retention, basically, to help you if your local schools do decide to mess with you. If you have the money, it's a worthy investment. Hi, Marco. Um, so it's really important that you know your homeschool laws. We live in Ohio, of course, you guys know. So I'm just gonna show you by example what we do. Just go click your state. You don't even have to go look through the thing. You can just click on the picture, and then it's going to give you your options. Right? You've got two different options. So we can do core curriculum schooling, which lines up with the public school system, or we can do unschooling in our state. And it tells you the age requirement to start your children if you are not aware of that. Hey, Tactical. Um, and so states differ on that. Everybody kind of feels like 5 is the starting age, but in our state it's 6, and we did not start our child until she was 6 into into schooling, and we have homeschooled her from the start, just so you guys know, and we have done it on a budget from the start, and that has been very, very useful. The first year I went overboard because I wanted to do the best I could by her, and we spent a couple $100 in books and things, and that was kindergarten. Yeah, learned some lessons that way. So all you parents out there, it doesn't cost you can homeschool your child in a variety of ways. There are several free homeschooling programs out there. You can get if you're uncomfortable being the teacher, you can sign up for free homeschooling, and it comes with teachers. It comes with I think K through 12 is probably the most popular. Um, There's Discovery K through 12. There's a whole bunch of them. And the resource links that I've posted in the description of this video are going to lead you to all those options and then some. I will say for resources, my two favorite homeschooling resources are Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool. Oh, Maria, oh, it's how great. Well, we taught her from birth. I mean, she's a learner. She likes to learn. But, we didn't have to officially file paperwork until she was 6. So, and Maria, I invite you to come up if you'll hang out and come up and talk with us, because I think you probably have some really valuable information for people who may watch this later who may be considering homeschooling their children. I think this is I've said it in several places, and I think I've probably even said it here. I think, and this is my opinion as a parent and as a patriot, that the first thing that we can do is pull our children away from their control and teach them at home. That, I believe, is one of the most important things that we can do to keep them from indoctrinating another generation. It's so important. Hey, Monty. Yep. Parents are the first and best teachers. And even if you don't feel like you're confident enough to be the best teacher, truly, what you don't know is that, children learn their socialization at home first. They learn how to interact with people at home first from their parents. How you act with people and how they watch and see your actions and reactions with other people is how they're going to act and react to their playmates on the playground. So it makes a big difference. And then, but you have to continually include them. If you're telling your kid, shut up and don't be seen, you're not treating them like a person, and you're not giving them the skill set that they need to know how to interact with others. And they're going to pick that up from other kids at school. So, I'm not against people that send their kids to public school. Don't get me wrong. I understand that some parents just don't have the confidence. But if you're not teaching them things at home about how to treat other people, they're going to learn that from school, and you're going to end up with a child that you don't recognize. They're not going to be your sweet little baby anymore. They're not going to be that child that started off with so much promise. So you really have to stay up on that. Even if you're not running to school board meetings and telling them you disagree with this and that, you have to be the one that says, now that's not how we treat other people. We don't act like that with other people. And I think right there might be the core. I don't know. What do you think, honey?
Yeah, pretty much hitting straight on. I mean, it's kind of hard, like she was saying. We're not putting anybody down, but if you can't have a broad look at the horizon of how we can teach our children, then yeah, I agree. The school curriculum, with what Marco said, you get them built up, and then all of a sudden they tear it down and they restructure it the way they want it to be, and that's not a good thing. And as you're looking through some of these, just be aware of some of the online schooling. If they start to steer your child towards a curriculum that you're not liking, back out of it. Don't be afraid to stand up and say, nope, this is not what I'm looking for my child.
And you can pull your child out of public school.
Yep.
In the middle of the school year. There are forms, and they are found on this site, or they will send you to a place where you can find the forms.
Yep.
A quick Google search will pull up the forms that you need. Now, I wanted to point out something here, and this is another bonus of homeschooling. All right. Everybody knows that at the beginning of the school year, in most states, not in all, but in most states, certain shots and vacation records are required in order to enroll your child in the next school year. Well, with everything going on in the world today, and we all know that there's a bad road out there that are trying to do a lot of things. If they make that mandatory for children and you still want to send your child to public school, forgive me, I don't think much of you as a parent. You should do research before you let them put anything into your child's arm, legs, butt, whatever, you know. So with homeschooling, there is no immunization requirement. Okay. Don't forget that. That is vital, you guys. That's vital in the day and age we live in. Now, I'm going to say some other things here real quick before I show you the laws. And that is no, like for Ohio, and I can speak only from personal experience here, okay? For Ohio, we do have to send a notification that we intend to homeschool or unschool to the school board, all right? And then they send us a letter back, and we have to send that registered mail. And we do that every year. And we also have to have, after your first year of school, here we have to either take our child to a testing center for testing, and they fill out bubble sheets, or you can have a teacher, like we have a lot of retired teachers. You have to have a licensed teacher do an evaluation of your child's performance over the year. And we have a lovely woman, and she has been our review teacher. And so she really knows Raina, and she can see how she's grown and how she's progressed and things like that. And it's a real simple little form that they fill out. They sign it. You send it in with your letter of intent. And usually it's a one-shot, all deal done. Now, if you're having problems, you don't know a teacher, the certifications, you can find them online. You can just say, your state. I can Google search Ohio teacher certifications for homeschooling, and it would pop up a couple links for me to go to. Now, the other thing is, what we did is I actually called the local school district and I said, hey, do you know a teacher that does reviews for the homeschoolers? And they gave me a name and they gave me a number, and that's how we got in touch with her. And so that's another really viable way, and it gives you the start of a relationship with the school board so that they don't come mess with you, because I know that in other states that has happened. Okay. So you have to know about these things so that you can prepare yourself. It's never happened to us. I mean, they've never messed with us. And I got horribly frustrated when the start of the school year comes around and I got to get all the paperwork together and send it in. But, and I'm usually late. But if I call and say, hey, my letter's going to be late, I've had some circumstances, they're usually fine with it. It's okayed once it's sent in. And I think one time I forgot to fill out one thing on a form and they sent it back to me and I had to refill it out, call the school board, send it back. And by the time the entire process was done, school had been in session for a month. But we homeschool year round so that we don't have to hold her to a rigid schedule. And for our daughter, that's how it works out best, because, every kid has their day where it's like, oh, Mom, I got a stuffy head today. I can't think. Okay, well, I'm not going to force you to do anything today. And since we do it year round, we can add a little bit here and take a little bit away there, and she can have whatever necessary breaks she needs.
And then also, just real quick, if you want to go on vacations, you can just go. You don't have to have a written, paper stating you're going to take your kid out of school, what date and time. And you guys want to go on vacation, you can go on vacation. You take their schoolwork with you. I mean, it's really awesome. And then, like she said, if there's a day that she doesn't feel right, they don't feel right, you give them the day off. If it was a really good day the day before, yeah, And for the most part, when it comes to homeschooling, for the type that we have Raina in, is she gets up in the morning, she does her homework within an hour and a half to 2 hours. She's got the rest of the day to do whatever she'd like to do. That even pertains to if she wants to do a project, and she has all day long to do it the way she would like to do it. in her own manner, her own time. She's not pressured. And then there's the days where she just wants to go outside and play all day. Hey, by all means. And then there's, now for the unschooling, if I'm out changing the oil in the car, she can use that as part of her unschooling. If I'm changing, anything, whatever we do, that's part of the good part of the unschooling, because she can use any of that stuff to incorporate with her learning structure. And that goes from sewing, cooking, gardening, whatever, the list goes on and on and on. They have to make a report about it, but it can be used as their schooling.
Almost everything in life is a learning lesson, right? One way or another. So if you're interacting with your child or your children, and you say, you're out, you take a nature walk, you guys are talking about flowers and plants and ferns or whatever you see on the ground, different leaf types. And then at the end of that walk, and you get back home, and the kid's all full of information now, and you say, so what'd you learn today? It makes them think and reprocess that information. And then that information tends to stick a little bit better. So let me real quick, so I can close out some of these tabs, show you guys what I was talking about. And Tactical and Maria, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining the conversation and sharing your information. And I would like to have Maria, if you'll hang out with us for a little bit here shortly. I want to show you guys some stuff, and then we'll get on to a conversation. And Tactical as well, if you would like to come up.
That he had yesterday.
I do forget
that Patriot.
Oh yeah, that Patriot kids.
Patriots and employees.
Oh yeah, I like that idea.
Together.
Yeah, I want to talk about that idea with you, Tactical. That's a fantastic idea. All right, so
a lot on her mind.
How to withdraw your child from school in Ohio. Now, on this website, and this is the very first link in the description, you guys, we're still on that legal website where you can pull up your state laws. Almost every state have the ability to do this, and the HSLDA will help you. And you can go in here, you can read some of these articles, special education provisions, public school access for homeschoolers, and that is not just that's not just an Ohio thing. That's if you go onto this website, there's a plethora of information. And hey, work in progress. Sorry. So there's a wealth of information. There are tabs across the top for resources, and you'll see community. There are a lot of different things. In community, you'll find the grants. Yeah. So if you're interested in doing something specific, you can go in there. You need and look around for the grants for homeschoolers. There is availability. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys that. That's going to be your first stop if you're interested in homeschooling and don't know anything about it. Now, another thing, for your letters of intent, there are tons of resources out there, and there are tons of groups out there. There are tons of co-ops out there. This is Ohio Homeschooling Parents Group, and they are a fantastic little group. We are not actually affiliated with them, but their resources are free. And so, we go over here, and there's your homeschooler resources. You can come down here and get forms, and they've got all the links right in there. And you'll find this in every state. Every state has a plethora of homeschooling parent groups. So if you're not sure, you can still utilize the information, even if you don't want to join the group, okay? It's just something to think about. Most of these are free. A lot of times, and see here, are the form downloads, and they're PDFs, and they're editable. So if you have editing PDF software, usually every computer comes with some sort of that anymore. if you're doing it on a phone, and you can do it on a phone, I have done it on a phone. There's an app. I don't remember the name of it, but it'll prompt you. Okay, I think it's probably just the Adobe Reader app. And then you can go in there, you can fill out your forms, fill in the information. And I do have a couple of these pulled up to show you guys. Give me a second here, trying to navigate this.
You're on the wrong one, honey. You're on the wrong screen with the cursor. You're on the wrong screen.
Sorry, guys. All right.
There we go.
That's not the one I want to show you. Okay. So let's get to these forms real quick. I'm going to show you what they look like. And so you can go in here and you can just edit that and put in your address, your date, the date, you know, you want to have your local superintendent, which is your school. It's not the school board. Department of Education, I think, is usually where it's sent to. And we live in such a small area that our Department of Education is actually the same address as our local high school. So it works out well for us. And then, you know, these, like I said, these links, the links to all this stuff are down there in the description box. And it's just a nice little form saying my intent is to homeschool my children, and you're going to do it in accordance with the laws. Now, it's very important, even if you are writing your own intent letter, it is vital that you list that you're doing it in accordance with the state laws in which your child is registered and in which you have an address. That is important. You could travel the whole world, but the state where you have your address is the state laws that you are going to be required to follow for homeschooling. So, and then here, I think this is the one. All right, so we've mentioned that we do unschooling, right? We don't follow the core curriculum. You know, we assure them every year. I don't even know if you guys can read this, but
what is it that we have to do though? We have to do
reading, writing, geography, mathematics,
other than that,
and history. We have to tell them, we have to assure them that we are doing that. You do not have to have a college degree to homeschool your children. One parent at least needs to have a high school education. In most places, that is the basic requirement, is a high school education or a high school diploma or a GED. If you have a college degree in anything, it does go a long way. I don't know why, but they do feel like it's just a little bit more assurance for them. So this is the form that we use, and it basically just states that my children and I will follow a student-directed curriculum with one learning opportunity, natural leading to the next, through a wide variety of traditional, non-traditional learning experiences. And it's basically saying that, you know, we let her pick her. Oh, I'm sorry.
You can even go.
You know, we base her information, or her learning curriculum is based on her interest, so that we can use things that she's already naturally interested in to improve her skills in everything. So we will. Our daughter really loves marine life. So this year she's got a journal that she started, and what she does is on every page, or for every set, you know, she'll pick an animal, and she draws a picture of the animal, and then she learns about it through YouTube videos, encyclopedias, books. You know, we go down to the library, and then she has to put down some facts. So that's her writing. She's learning correct grammar structure that way. Her spelling is fantastic, and that's because we've never done the spelling test with her. She's really resistant to that kind of learning, so we just haven't done that. But what she has learned is that when she types in her games in chat with her friends, it'll pop up the little red line that you've misspelled something. And so she's really done a great job at sounding things out. You know, we've gone over blended sounds and all the good stuff. And she's got a great handle on spelling and reading because she does love to read. And she reads at like a fifth to seventh grade level. And she's only, well, we just ended the grade. And she wants to talk to you about this year about maybe jumping in grade. And I don't know if she'll get it or not, but I'm going to let her ask. You know, she's taking it upon herself to push herself further. You know, we got her a math game to help her to keep the number thing going, to keep it fresh in her head. And she really enjoys it. Well, she unlocked the exponents and the square root. And I've never gone over any of that with her yet because I felt like she wasn't quite ready for it. And she's in there doing and just has it. You know, it just came naturally to her. So I don't discourage her from that because, you know, anything that she actually wants to learn, she's going to learn better than anything I can teach her. So, you know, that's a consideration you take in as a parent when you're homeschooling, is that, you know, if your child is ready to move past certain curriculum, you need to encourage that. And if your child is not yet ready for that curriculum, then you do some basic, you know, base study until they've got that and they're ready to move on. Because shoving a child to learn something they're not ready to learn is not going to benefit them in the long run. It's going to be the first thing they forget. Pardon me. All right, so that's the forms.
Over here.
I'm up here. All right. So, homeschooling resources. I want to put this down, honey. How do I do that? Put it back down. You're gonna have to bring the cursor on this. Yeah, there we go.
I'm over there, aren't I?
You're here now. Give us a second, guys.
Back down. But...
All right, so this is just like I said, you can look up homeschooling resources. You can just put it in, you know, Google homeschooling groups for your area. You can do whatever you feel you need to do in the best interest of your child. Now, I wanted to share this specific tab with you guys because it explains some things for parents out there who are new to this but are really interested in it, or who are on the fence who may not know how to make that transition, right? And so deschooling, if you have a child that has been in public school to this point, but you feel strongly as a patriot that you do not want to keep letting them go to school and learning some of these things that they're trying to teach our children this year specifically. And so there is a changeover process. I mean, and some of it's for, look, we say it's for the kids, and part of it is, but a lot of it's going to be about the parents, and how you need to adjust your schedule too. So if there is a learning period there, and you know, you can't beat yourself up as parents. You can only move forward and do the best you can do.
We'll
all right,
see you
Liz.
later, Liz.
Have
Thanks
a great
for joining.
weekend. So deschooling is something, you know, look into it if you're new at this or you want to try this and you haven't before, because, you know, there are a lot of resources out there for that too. There are parents who've gone through this. You are not alone. So somebody somewhere has written a blog or done a video regarding these things, and you know, you can't give up. You can't give up, because you got to keep in mind that no matter how hard this is on you, you know, your kids are transitioning too. So you have to be able to give your both your child and yourself breaks at times, and you need to know some tips and tricks to help you make that transition if your child has been in public school and you want to move them to a homeschooling environment, you know. So please, anybody watching this that is new to it, please take some time and check that out. And there, like I said, there are multiple references. There are links in the description. I'm not going to stay on this too long. I just thought I felt it was important for you guys to see that. Take a look at the forms. This is our official, like if I were to enroll her in the K through 12, or this is what we did the first year where we followed a core curriculum to get her started. And this form is the Ohio State Department of Education form. And you can get these at your local State Department of Education, you know, .gov. Every state has them. So that's a good resource if you want to go that way. It may be easier for some people to go that way, and by all means you should, if that's going to be your place to start. It may be an easier transition. So but do a little bit of research, take some time, read some things, okay? And then I think I have
Eventually, we'll have our screen in front of us. We just it's
sorry,
just the
guys.
situation we're in right now. That's why we keep twisting around.
All right, so homeschooling resources, you can use resources. You can find them anywhere. Like I said, you can use them for your state. You can just put in free homeschooling resources and come up with a plethora of information. Use discernment. Some of those places are free and some of them are not, like I said.
Maria.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate your time. Maybe another time we can get together and talk about this.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, William. Really appreciate it.
So I don't know what I was gonna say. All right. Easy peasy all-in-one homeschooling, and Homeschool Super Freak has a wealth of information, a wealth of free programs if you want to use that. All those things. All right, so I'm going to drop the link in here. You guys, anybody wants to come up and talk and share your experience maybe with homeschooling if you have some experience. And I'm going to stop sharing this screen. All right. You good? Yeah. Okay. And then anybody would like to come up and share their experience, that would be fantastic. And then, you know, we can talk about that. Tonto had made a comment in Liberty Warrior, I think it was last night. Maybe it was over in the Search for Truth. I'm not sure which. Yeah. And I really like the idea. I'm an ideas person, and when I have ideas, I want to share them out because they're not my ideas. When I get ideas, I feel like those come from creators, especially if I feel like they have any validity. And so I share them out because I hope somebody out there with the proper skill set can pick those up and run with them. So anybody that would like to come up and have a chat, Tonto, I'd love to talk to you about that idea. I know this is homeschooling, but you know we like our conversations. So anybody that wants to come up and start a conversation, you're more than welcome to. If not, this may not be a long one, but I really wanted you guys to, huh?
Never mind. I just see you post a link.
Yeah. I really wanted you guys to have just some information, some resources, some places you could go and look. If you have questions, come on up and ask them. If I can help you, I will. If I can't help you, I can probably probably point you in a direction that will get you the help that you need. So yeah, I think that, yeah, conquer your future, conquer your future. And how do you do that? Right. When we fight for generations that come after us,
not just for us,
so
but generations. Exactly.
I feel like homeschooling is a great place to start that fight. And that's how I feel. Everybody knows I'm pretty strong opinionated. Anybody knows us. Uh, so, so yeah, you know, and if you don't have kids, that's great. You know, somebody that does have kids,
pass it along.
You know, drop a little bug in their ear and
let them know.
You know, let them know, because it's not always.
And once you get a routine going, like we were just saying, even if you have like businesses, I'll just give a little instance. My brother and I, we run a sawmill. We get up in the morning, usually get everything done with her. She went with me. Even though she had to stay in the utility cart and play, or in the truck and play in the back of the bed, she was with me. She had more fun being on site with me, learning different things that we were doing as she was watching us. She kind of knows what her uncle and I do, and it's fun. I mean, it you can't beat it.
When I set up for my paintings, when I run booths for my paintings, and I'll do live paintings, and I'll sit all day. I'll sit and paint for 12 hours for folks, and I like to do the customized stuff. She comes, she learns, she handles the money. Okay.
We make her
and has been since she was 5, and she's got a really good grasp on value. She's got a really good grasp on bartering. She's got a really good grasp on, you know, practical things with money. It's not just that she did some workbook pages. She's run her own lemonade stand a couple times, and she's learned about profit and about loss, and she's learned about all that stuff, and she's learned about it firsthand, because for her, that was the way that she wanted to learn it. So we gave her that opportunity, and she did very well. You remember, she took a cutout for the supplies that we had bought, and then she figured out what she made after her supplies, and she figured out what was wasted that was left over, which it wasn't really wasted. I mean, of course, we
lemonade.
Stuff. Yeah, it was a lemonade
drink
stand.
Lemonade.
But, you know, she wanted to make it a specific way. She wanted it made with real lemons. She wanted it made with, you know, all that, or just good stuff. And she did a great deal of business. And she did it all on her own. I mean, Mom and Dad were in the background, but we let her handle the conversations that she had to have with the people. We let her handle her money. And she did really great.
She came up with her own sales pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. And then see the one time that she did do it, we were down at the it was a oh shoot, what's the name of that?
Killbuck Early American Days.
Killbuck Early American Days. And they have a parade, and it's all the football teams. Then they have the queens of each school district, the princesses and whatnot. And when everything was said and done, how was it? She sold one, but if
she wanted to make sure all the princesses,
you were the princess, then you automatically got
a free
lemonade.
And she still made a lot of money.
And she made a lot of money off of it.
And everybody kept.
But she recognized the princesses out there, and that just brought them over from another lemonade stand to her lemonade stand.
And then
they wouldn't do it.
All of the parents of the princesses came over and bought lemonade from her. From that point, and then the football team and the marching band and everybody came over to her stand because she had done that for the parade goers.
She even bartered with some candy. A couple kids came over and gave her a couple lollipops for her lemonade. I mean, she's a great barterer.
So, I mean, there are things you can do that are budget friendly.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't take you going to the store and scouring through the books and finding this and finding that. Now those books are handy, especially when you're just starting out. You know, when you get the books that have a little bit of everything in them, and it's handy more for you as a parent than it is for the kids, um, because it gives you an idea of where to take your lesson plan, right? And we did the curriculum stuff the first year, yeah.
Yeah.
And now with those letters, you have to send in the resources. So if you're going to do like a curriculum setup homeschooling, and you're not going to go through an online school that's already got everything plugged in for you, you're going to need to send in all the resources that you're going to use that year. And the first time I wrote everything down by hand, and it was like 3 pages of book titles and authors and what it covered, and like 1 line of what it covered, and that was just horrendous. And then the school board lady that I talk to every year, she told me, she was like, just make a copy of the cover of the books and send that in, and that'll work. And I did that. That was super easy. And then we found the unschooling forms, and we had decided, we'd already talked about it and decided that that was kind of the way we wanted to go. And we didn't just talk about it between him and I. We talked about it with Raina to see what she thought. So, because she hates doing those workbooks, she really does. She would rather do her own thing, and you know, we've got tons of those little composition books around. And
don't get us wrong, she does do them. She just hates doing them.
Yeah, and it's a struggle to fight with her about that stuff. If I write something down on a piece of paper, she would rather do that than to get into a workbook. I don't know what
There's
it is,
something
but
there
she is completely against those workbooks.
That I saw when I was little, and I think it's more along the lines of you're being steered a certain way, and they wanted you to do a certain way. And I mean, even the math today, when you see my niece and nephew's schoolwork, it is not like we were growing up.
I don't care who you are, 2 plus 2 will never equal 5.
Yeah, we never. And it just took me a minute to rethink the structure on how they were trying to teach the child. Then everything came out the same in the end. It was all on how it was worded, and it was like, they didn't have to go that route. Why don't they just say this? And then all of a sudden, oh, well, that makes sense.
And you know, we're blessed because, you know, we have mom and dad both here, right? So
and that's the other thing too.
So the thing is that I teach a different way than dad does. And there are things that dad handles because Raina understands it better from dad than she does from mom.
And then there's stuff that she understands from mom that she doesn't get from me. So yeah.
So I mean, we are blessed in that aspect, and we do recognize our blessings on that. But even single parents, man, if you're a single parent, I'm proud of you. And if you're a single parent who wants to homeschool, I'm even prouder of you, because that bravery means that you are open enough and strong enough to understand that your child needs something more, right? There are all kinds of things available to help you out. You can actually talk to those, and Tondo had mentioned it earlier in chat, you can talk to those retired teachers, and a lot of them will tutor in specific subjects or even just in general. That's very useful, and most of them will do it just for the love of the children. The teacher that we use, the retired teacher that we use to do Raina's thing at the end of the year every year.
For her evaluation.
Sorry guys, I'm scatterbrained today. She, you know, times have been tough, and I haven't been able to pay her at that point. And I'll pay her later. She'll come do it for free, so it's in on time. And then, you know, we'll make it up to her later or whatever. But she does it because she loves these kids, and she loves the parents that are brave enough to stand up and do this. And so she's very supportive of her homeschooling people that you know she goes around to, and she is great with the kids. She has one-on-one discussions with them, you know. And when she's doing her evaluation, she talks to her. She doesn't talk to me, but very little bit. But she talks to her, and ask her to do things. And Raina she'll bring a book because she likes to show off her reading skills. And even she knows they're impressive. So I think that's great. Yeah, you have to learn different ways because each child does learn differently. Does anybody want to come up? Anybody want to come up and have a conversation? I'll drop that link one more time. If not, I think we're going to wrap this up today because we do have some other stuff to get done. Oh, Honey Bunny is making an appearance. But there you go. There's the link, you guys. And if anybody would like to come up, we would appreciate it. I want to discuss. I do want to keep this homeschooling just because it's that time of year, and there are people that need to know these things that don't even have a clue about the very first step. So again, step one, find the homeschooling laws for your state.
Oh yeah,
that's the first thing. But I do want to talk about Tano's idea from last night because I feel like that was a really great idea.
Yeah, we do. We need to. That is a great idea.
Yeah, Tano, do you want to come up and discuss that? I would love to discuss that with you. Let's flesh it out a little bit and help somebody get that.
We have
started.
Several people in chat that own their own businesses. I mean, you have try and pull them out of the woodwork or anything, but you got a Jeff B. I mean, he owns, I believe, 3 up in Canton, Ohio. He's a phenomenal man. He's a patriot. He won't put up with the garbage being on our face and everything else. So we need to have, and even if he doesn't have spots open, he may know of another patriot.
Networking, just like you said.
Networking is all together. So when we do, we can say, hey, this person might be by you, or that person might be by you. You go third one in.
The third one is okay.
That's fine.
Thanks for coming up and joining us. Oh, I'm messing with this mouse.
My pleasure.
There we go.
Oh.
Hi. All right.
We're not that far away from each other, but
that's awesome. I'm glad you made it home safe. I was so happy to hear that.
That was a long. I'm here to tell you, Cincinnati sucks. Wow, there was so much traffic and construction in Cincinnati. It was backed up from. It was bumper to bumper from south of Cincinnati to almost Dayton.
Wow.
And then we get through traffic and we get hit with a thunderstorm. It was terrible. Oh, it was a long day. It was about 14 hours on the road. So
yeah, yesterday was the first time I've seen a heat warning for Ohio in years. It's been so long since I've seen a heat warning, and yesterday we had one, and then we haven't gotten one today, but it's just as muggy out there as anything, and I don't know. That's hard on me for sure.
We hit Cincinnati. It was 102 degrees.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
It was
ooh, all that pavement, all them pavement and mirrors. Oh boy, I wouldn't want anything to do with it.
It was all bumper to bumper. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the highway patrol were out in force yesterday. Wow. They were just hammering it. There was construction on the bridge at Cincinnati.
Well.
And then down the road, there was a police incident where they're putting the steel bracelets on somebody on the side of the road. So that had everybody running.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And then we get clear of that, and 5 miles down the road, there's a fatal accident. And, I mean, so they have that all shut down.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and so we get past that, and we decide, let's get a bite to eat. So we get some food, and we get hit with a thunderstorm. It's like, what the heck? Oh, man.
It was crazy yesterday.
It was.
Yeah, we watched
the night before, and then, well, actually the day before, because we lost power 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was out all until 2 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. We got it back, well,
right
actually about
the episode
12:30, and then we came on for our show at 2. We had just gotten it back on an hour and a half before that.
Oh.
So,
and then it went out again last night.
Yeah, then it went out again
while we were over with Travis on the search for truth.
And then it went out again this morning because of the main transmission line just up the road at another town, it had yanked the main transmission line, so they had to get that repaired. We were back up. We had power back by, I think, like it was around 10 o'clock, and we were texted that power was back on.
Where I'm at, I'm blessed because I'm like between two substations. So if one goes down, the other one clicks in, and I get an interruption in power, but it kicks right back in. So
yeah, we had two different transmission lines down.
One on the backside of our hill, and then one up next town up, which isn't very far. It's only like 4 miles.
Not fun when you lose the
no. But luckily, you know, we had our battery bank. You know, I've been still building it up for the battery bank. We had enough that we could run our fans, keep our freezer and refrigerator running, and a couple of lights.
Yeah,
we can charge the or we can charge our, you know, laptop and phones and whatnot. We limit it when that comes to that. But well, we kind of pushed our limit that night with Travis's schedule. We were up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Anyway,
he's a good guy. We love to talk to him.
We love it.
Hey, one more thing real quick.
You know,
that was a great
awesome
idea. Before we do that, I want to mention one more thing. One more thing real quick. Resources. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Cheap and free resources. Check your thrift stores, man. Those book bins are fantastic resources for really cheap, and very few people buy books from thrift stores. So if you walk up and say, hey, can I get 5 for $1 or 4 for $1 or whatever, normally you can do that. Normally they'll let you just to get rid of some to get more out of the back room. And then libraries are great resources.
When you network and you get into the homeschooling groups, they share their resources, and you know, it's really handy. But we homeschooled my girls through an online academy. We yanked them out of the public school, and then I started searching around, and I found a really nice online academy. And when I enrolled in that, the tax dollars that went to my school went to that online academy. They sent my daughter a laptop. They sent all the resources. She had, you know, access to all the teachers. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And it didn't cost us a dime.
That's awesome.
That was something else Trump did. Somebody else mentioned in the, I believe it was Monty, that Trump had passed that bill that, you know, back when he first became president, for homeschoolers, that if you didn't want to be in school, that would divert that money to the parent that was trying to homeschool. Hence, laptops, books, you know, anything that you needed for the schooling, it was available.
The schools hate it because it sucks their money right out.
Yeah, they lose their money.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they keep doing what they're doing,
if they don't produce a good product,
any of it.
That's what you get. You know, it
I
produces a good
feel
product.
teachers are trying to stick us out for the kids.
Yeah. You're not gonna go buy a Chevette, or you're not gonna go buy a Corvette if it's gonna run like a Chevette.
Yeah.
You know, you're not gonna do it.
I typed in there not only those resources, but you know, we brought our girls up in the church also, and you know, and acclimated them to large crowds, you know, with the church, and having them go do field trips with the church, and you know, just makes them a well-rounded human being, you know. And
now we're blessed on that part.
Yeah, my girls have all gone on missions trips. They've gone to Haiti. They've gone to West Virginia. They've gone to Detroit. They've gone, you know, all over the place. And they're better people because of it.
Yeah, so it makes them a little bit more well-rounded.
Your local church.
You just got to make sure it's a good one. You're right. You just got to have a discernment for them too.
Yep.
Well, that's excellent. Yeah. And I think, you know, a lot of people, their first thing is the first argument against homeschooling is always the socialization. But, you know, as parents, we are the first people who teach our children how to treat other people. And if you're not teaching them at a conscious level how to treat other people. Even if you keep them in public school, they're going to learn that from their peers. And learning it from their peers in this day and age is a dangerous thing.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, their worldview is almost fully formed by age 6. So clock's ticking, and they're watching. That old adage, "Your children are always watching you." Oh, they are, and they're learning.
Yeah.
And if you're a nice person, your children tend to be a nice person. Nice citizens. So.
Yep. And I believe it's important. Sorry, honey. Go ahead. No. I believe it's important, that children do know how to speak to adults and carry on a conversation,
Absolutely.
and recognize that they're people too. And I think that we, in the society that we live in today, that is very undervalued. And I know that goes back to the time of, if you're a kid, you shouldn't be seen and you shouldn't be heard. But if we're not teaching those people skills to them, how to recognize that they're a person and have their own opinions and have those recognized by other people, adults and children, if we're not teaching them those, when they go out in the world, they are going to be unprepared.
Yeah, where are they learning their world skills? From a video game? Or
that cartoons.
Cell phone? From TikTok.
Well, that's what I was going to. Yeah, and that's the other part too. In cartoons. Now, when Raina was coming up, her one cousin, he was allowed to watch SpongeBob SquarePants. Not in my house. I watched that cartoon, and you will not know. Absolutely not. You will not treat people that way, because that's where it starts. If you ever really watched SpongeBob SquarePants, you'd really know my child will not be watching this.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so it was one of our rules. If our daughter's up here, it's not to be shown.
If you want your children to learn about the occult, let them watch Disney.
Right.
Yeah. Now we have watched Disney movies. She loves Disney movies, but we're right there. When she asks questions, it goes the other way. Now, we don't let it go the way they want to think. It's
exactly. You as a parent have to not be sitting them in front of them and let the TV babysit them. You as a parent have to say, okay, here's the lesson maybe you should take from this, instead of what, and you can turn bad things into good things. Bad things can be turned to good things,
just like they did to us.
If you're being, if you're social, if you're actively participating in your child's life, then you are actively participating in their education of life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look at the generational differences too. I mean, as children, I hated being inside. I never wanted to be inside the house. You were inside because you were sick or you were grounded. That was
yep.
That's what it was.
Or
you're right.
Or it was raining. And but now
I
just want to play my video games. I just want to stay on computer. I just
No. Now she does do some of these things, but we keep an eye on what she does. But there's also all right.
It's time.
It's time to go outside for a little bit.
And she does. I mean, she's really good about it. She knows when we'll ask her, hey, don't you think it's time to go out and play for a while?
Now, if she hears my car start up, she drops everything. She runs out. Her best friends are on. For a ride. There we are.
So sorry. But just your idea real quick, because I think it was really important, and I'd like to get it out there to the world, and have somebody maybe pick that up and run with it about the business owners. So I'll let you present it.
I'm not a huge organizing kind of guy. That's just not my forte. But we're sitting there. I'm listening. I go to a lot of your sites. I go to a lot of these sites, and I hear people afraid that they're going to lose their job if they don't take the jab, or they're not, like Jeff Riddle, he's not going to put the diaper on. Well, I also realize that I drive down the road and there's every business has a help wanted sign. So
Yeah.
there's really no excuse. I mean, I'm a child of the 80s, and I remember back then you could leave your career, walk across the street, and start a new career. That
Literally.
And that's where we're
literally.
at.
You didn't have to put up with their crap.
No. Right now, you can pick and choose any employer you want. I mean, like where I'm at, Southern Michigan, I know a guy that has a CNC, a fabricating company who's willing to pay for your schooling, send you to school, and pay you a great wage to learn welding. I mean, this guy's willing to pay.
Oh, that's a fantastic trade.
And I mean, there's I just hear all these guys saying they can't hire anybody. Nobody wants to work. They have to close their business because nobody wants to work. I'm like, that's just ridiculous. With all these people worried they're going to lose their job, like if Jeff comes up online and says, "Hey, I lost my job today," I'm going to scramble and find Jeff a job because I know a lot of people in the car companies and the research development. I just have those connections. So, I'll do what I can. And that's what I was thinking. Why aren't we, if Mike at Liberty Warrior is doing a list of, like making a mutual aid group, making mags, then why isn't that part of it? Make a list of, hey, these are jobs.
We should set that up.
Matt says Southern Michigan, this area in Southern Michigan, like Toledo, Southern Michigan, Toledo, Ohio, Southern Michigan. These are the jobs I know of right off the top of my head. So if you're in that area, get up with Matt. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what we need to do? What about this? What if we put a call out to employers who are not requiring the face diaper, not requiring the jab, and have them come sign up at a site? And then we built like ManCan, right? In Ohio, we have ManCan everywhere. And it's like, helping people get into the right jobs or temporary positions or what have you. And if we could set up something like that, see, I'm not an organizer either, but I'm hoping there's an organizer out there who picks this up and runs with it. And let's set up a website so employers all over our nation who say, we're not going to comply with this crap, we'll get patriots to work for us, and we can make America strong just doing that.
Yeah, basically, if your business flies a Trump flag, let us know.
Or an American flag. At this point, it's an American flag. If your business flies an American flag.
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's what, I'll probably get on with Jeff Riddle in an hour, and I'll probably get on with Mike tonight.
Yeah, we'll probably be there.
We'll speak this idea out, because the more people we can get this idea rolling with, maybe the faster we can get it going, and we can get it out there, because I feel like it's brilliant, Matt. And even if we don't do chapters, even we just set up a website where employers can come there and sign up their business looking for employees, and make it a nationwide.
I have the following jobs, a job board, basically a job board.
Yeah. Job board, right?
But it would be an we're not going to require the jab employers,
right?
And that way people who are smart enough can say, I want to work, but I'm not going to go work for somebody who's trying to kill me. I'm not going to make them rich and die in the process.
If you roll down, if you follow this rabbit trail, we could be setting ourselves up for, when everybody starts taking the mark and you can't buy or sell without the mark, maybe we're going to have an alternate way of doing that for believers. For those that don't comply.
I'm going to share something with you. I don't have the link right now. I can find it again, but I have to do a little bit of searching. But there was an article that was put out in 2016 about these graphene shots that contained the nanotube technology.
Right.
Okay. They've been doing studies on this stuff long before they decided to put it into these needles. The study said that it would be injected under the skin and then activated by electrical charge after the shot. So while you may not get sick from the original shot, and I tie that together with the one that I saw, and I believe it was a CNN clip, and they had a doctor on there talking about how, yes, there is a chip in there, a tracking chip inside each one of the vacations, but it's only to track to make sure that it's not compromised.
Yeah.
What's that?
If you don't have the enzymes or whatever inside your body, and they'll have some way to scan it, how are they going to know you've not taken it? You know, other than they put a yellow star on your shirt. You know.
Well, they're changing a lot in some of the bigger cities. In some of the bigger cities, they're installing black light in the street lights, and there is some validity to that. I've done a little bit of research and I validated that claim. Some of these ones that are already getting black lights installed, and the luciferase ingredients that's in the vacation, you can't tell me this isn't already the mark. I feel strongly about that. I had a conversation with my father about it right before he passed, actually. It's not just about the magnetism, though. It's about a lot of things. When they can just run a black light over your arm and identify it because it's in your blood.
People were taking scanners to where they were giving shots.
And everything. Maybe it's just a nudging of the Holy Spirit, you know, just to say, hey.
Yeah.
You know, we need you to organize this. And, okay, Lord, you know. That's how he works. That's how he works.
Oh.
Because I know I'm not smart enough to think of something like this. You know, it's just.
No, but you know what?
I need, and that's how you become a successful business. You see a need and you fill that need. Well,
yes.
We got people, we got patriots worried about losing livelihood, and we have employers worried about losing livelihood. Let's put them all together. No problem. You know, like
yeah, I really like that idea. I think we should spread this out to as many platforms as we can get it on. I think that's the way to get the idea into the proper hands that can help us develop it into a working solution.
It's going to take a minute, but we'll get it. You just got to get to the right people, you know.
Yep. I mean, like Tara or Ariana or somebody, you know,
those kind, yeah. Well,
works with Mike. That's what
we
they
know.
That's their forte. You know, they can organize that stuff and they can get it up. Or even what's his name from last night? The guy that's in the trucking. You know, he's in the bills of lading and all that stuff and organizing, and you know, it's like that's what you need, somebody that can organize like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm too scared of brain. So I see a squirrel and I'm gone. So you know, it's
yeah. Squirrel.
Yep, squirrel. I'm done. But, so anyway,
yeah, I'm like that too.
Yeah, we'll hit the platforms and
we'll start working on it.
Yep, I'll follow you around.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we usually end up in about the same places, don't we?
Yeah, I think so too.
If we keep the family growing and keep it between the ones that are already trying to make a difference, make a channel. We'll become mods on your channel. We keep our mods for those. We keep it all together. We keep the trolls out. And we keep it going strong.
We should reach out also to Ken Carson because I think he would really like this idea.
What was that again?
I said Craig and Jeff are going to help me get a channel up.
Right on.
Awesome.
It's not too hard. It's not hard.
And you can always reach out to us too.
Hey, that's all we did. We just got on and started talking about things that we knew.
Yeah.
And just went with that. People will join in and give tips and no different than what we're already doing right now. No different than what we're doing already right now. It takes a little bit of time. Yeah, we're only getting 10 to 15 people at a time, but those 10, 15 people, once it starts getting, we'll start getting bigger. It'll get bigger. And then other people will join.
What's my number?
Yeah, because my forte is law enforcement, so that's kind of where I sit. You know, I know Michigan law, Florida law, things like that. So
here's in the private chat. You see that there?
Can you see that?
You know where the private chat is?
Let's see.
The tab at the top is private chat.
I see chat. Yeah. Oh yeah, private chat. Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Click on that, and then yep, you can get a hold of us there.
And we'll help you out with anything that we can help out with too.
You got a question, give us a call, even if it's 2 seconds, and you figured it out. You know, no big deal.
Yeah, and we can reach out to Ken. Ken would be a good one too to get a hold of with this idea and let him broadcast this idea. Just to put it out there, because you know he's getting a lot of coverage now, and I know he doesn't mind helping out patriots and you know, things like that. So that might be another avenue, you know.
Yes.
And I feel like if Jeff B were to hear your idea, I'm pretty sure he would jump on it. He might even put it in his Telegram or something, and he has some networking set up. So even if we started, you know, Ohio or whatever, it's going to grow. That idea is going to grow, and it's a fantastic idea, Marco. I really love it. So we'll do our best to get it out there and get into the right hands.
Good feeling. I have a good feeling about it. It just makes sense, and I like things that make sense.
Once this all washes over, I don't think we'll have too hard of a time. But just for now, if we can get it going, I think it's a good way of getting going.
Yes, it makes us stronger.
You know,
there's unity.
They can't work with. You know, businesses can't run without employees.
Right.
You know, and if that's what they want to do, all right, fine. You know.
Yeah.
And they're exactly just being treated. Yeah, just being treated right, and that's all they want. 9 times out of 10, most people do look for the money, but I've seen people go ahead and lose a job or go away from a higher paying job because they didn't want to be treated that way. It didn't matter how much money they made. When you're being disrespected, it makes a big mark in your life. And then when you take it home to your family and you're like, wow, you had a bad day, you know, and they want to get away from that. They don't want to lose the money, but they want to get away from that.
Right.
And
I've seen it happen.
I know Jeff's going to love this idea.
Yeah. All right. Well,
all right. Yeah. So I will see you guys on other sites then.
All righty.
Yeah.
We will probably be over on Jeff's tonight or here in a little bit too. And, you know.
Yep. Okay.
And of course.
Have a night, you guys.
Yeah, Heather had to use the restroom real quick. Someone go ahead and close this down.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
So,
we'll talk.
All right.
Really cool. Good show.
Well, thank you. Yes. Yep. And just let other people know. Just if you want to know about homeschooling, come on over. We have the links in the description. Do the search. It's not hard to figure it out.
How often are you coming up? Every day? Weekdays? What?
What's that again?
How often are you coming up online? Are you doing it like 5 days?
We come up every day at 2.
Every day at 2.
7 days a week, 2 p.m.
Okay, yep. So I'll start.
Now we
directing people that
we took the one day off just because we didn't. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Then I will see you guys later.
All righty. Thanks for joining. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Love and light. And have a blessed afternoon and evening. Talk to you. And once again, yes, thank you guys We do appreciate it. We'll be out of here, and like I said, we'll see you guys over on Jeff Riddle and Liberty Warrior, and have a great evening and a good weekend. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.